Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is Domas. Welcome back to the Soul Channel. I just walked past a couple of workers who were eating their lunch, homemade lunch, which was pretty much, some beef jerky or some lard on with bread, on some bread. And that's what a lot of old school Lithuanians eat. It's like pig fat and lard. It's very like pig fat and on bread, and it's very filling. So when you eat that, you kind of feel full. You don't need to eat a lot of it, and you feel full after a few bites. So I think maybe that's why. That's maybe a smart thing to do. Though a lot of Lithuanians or people like that I saw, like old school kind of people, like kind of countryside people. Don't want to say like rednecks, but something like that. They're like quite big bellies, and they're not starving. I think it comes from, I don't know, Soviet Union, when we didn't have enough money to buy what we could buy. So when we became able to do it, we started to get greedy and just fill our stomachs with all kinds of trash and rubbish. And there's other people that exercise. There's other people that, go to gyms and they're fit as fuck. They're lean, and they watch what they eat, and it's kind of new generation Lithuanians. But it's my grandmother's birthday tomorrow, and I'm thinking to buy her a book because she's so into books, and I want to choose something good to buy, because I was thinking to buy some flowers, and just say happy birthday, but she takes care of me. 85, 86 years old tomorrow, but she's like, if you don't come and see me, I get really anxious. So I need you to come and see me and have some food. She doesn't say I need you, but I know that she wants me to. So I go and do that every day, pretty much. And some days I don't go there, but most of the days I go and visit her and have some food there. So she's like, takes care of me, although I seem to be taking care of her in some way. But she's really taking care of me, and I came back to Lithuania partly to sort of look after them, like my grandma, my grandfather. But they're the ones looking after me, so it's like, I don't know, world and life works out in this way. It's not probably, doesn't look the nicest but on me, but it is what it is. I am what I am, So I'm thinking it's beautiful to still have a grandmother who, she's very kind. She's very, like, she's always got guests around. I'm thinking about her life. Like, she's lived with her husband, my grandfather, who's passed away like 8 years ago. Lived with him her whole life, and sort of took care of the kids, and while he was making art, and didn't have that much money, but she was working as a teacher also. So when I think about women's life, especially like women's like my grandmother, whole life was just work. Cleaning the house, taking care of the kids, cleaning after them, making food, like I look at her now and she's kind of doing still the same things, but a bit less. But when I see her moving around, she doesn't move like an 86-year-old. She moves around like a 16-year-old. Like, she's so active. The other day she said, look at my stupidity. She said, I was going to get ready for church at 10 in Ratnica, which is like quite far away from the city. And she's like, I started listening to the radio and I missed the bus to go to this place where the church is. And it's quite a walk. And she's like, you're not gonna believe this. I punished myself and I walked there in 20 minutes. And I was like, no way you walk there in 20 minutes. There's not a possible, like, I couldn't walk there in 20 minutes by going fast. She's like, I'm not kidding you. I walked there in 20 minutes. So, and she's like, my legs weren't hurting after that walk. I wasn't complaining. And, as I said, I look at her and I'm like, how the hell do you stay that young for your whole life? And I guess that's activity. And she was a volleyball player. So she played a lot of volleyball and she was like very active in sports. And I don't know, some people are just, I don't know, Jordan Peterson comes into my head when I think about this. He said women are more agreeable. And that kind of got stuck with me in my head. Like, women are more agreeable. And that's when I realized, like, women have less trouble, I guess, with certain things like deciding what they need to do. They don't need to, like, if somebody offers her a position or 2 or 3 positions, and if you're more agreeable, you might just logically come to a conclusion, and you're like, okay, this brings the most amount of money, or this is going to bring me more, like, meaning to my life. I choose this. Agree, where somebody like me, a male, no, doesn't matter what people would say to me. I had my one narrow way of thinking that I've chosen, that I wasn't going to change for anybody. And I did that. I was so disagreeable, and that didn't come in handy for me, I don't think. I was suffering for a long time, and now I became more agreeable, I think. And it really goes against my grain, because I always feel like I can't just go yes, yes, yes to everything. But when life got better, it was even harder for me to accept that and agree with that. And it still is hard for me to accept that things are good, things are okay. Like, I don't need to torture myself all the time. I can be I'm quite okay, like, I don't need to be in another country. I don't need to speak another language. I can be in my country. I can go to work in my hometown. So, and I can save some money like that. And it can be good. It doesn't have to be struggle all the time. Because of my ego, just because of my disagreeableness. So now looking at my grandmother, and when my grandpa passed away, so she doesn't have that kind of, she feels lonely, but she doesn't have that kind of burden of my grandfather, because he was charismatic, he had a character, and he was not always like the easiest person to be with. So now she's like free, you know. So she's always got friends around, and I can see how she is manifesting herself as a independent human being, you know, and she's still very, very anxious, always doing something, always on the move, you know, or completely opposite, reading a book, you know, and not engaging with the world at all, except for her book. So just thinking about family today and grandmother, and how she took care of me when I was little. And she was, I could say, in a way, like my mom. When my mom had to go to the hospital, she took care of me. And my brother wasn't born yet, so she took care of me. And my dad took care of me when I was supposed to be with my mom, and I couldn't. So I think I have this connection with my grandmother. I think when she passes, I don't know how I'm gonna react, but don't need to think about it yet. She's doing good. So yeah, that's it. Thinking about the older generation today. So thank you for listening. If you found something valuable, please like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't yet. And yeah, that will help this channel grow, so the soul channel can grow. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. It's not easy to speak always, but it's a great pleasure to be able to be heard and talk about things that are on my mind. So I'm proud of you. You guys are doing great. Just remember that there's always you. Don't forget about that person. There's always you that is doing all of these things. So gotta be grateful for that person for doing its job, doing his or her job. Started writing more, but I'll tell you more about that in the next video. Love you guys. Stay good, stay focused, stay digging into your subconsciousness. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. I love you guys. Take care and peace.